Well, good morning, everyone. Alex has got the intro getting better and better every day. Leave it to our tech genius to do so. Yeah, no looking around. We know who we're talking to. How's it going, Alex?
Uh, Woke up this morning with air in my breath, air in my lungs, voice to help others. It's a freaking amazing day, sir. Lots going on in the world.
Holy cannoli, isn't that the truth? Good morning, Dave.
Morning, guys. What's happening?
Well, I'm telling you guys.
Besides everything.
Besides everything, it's so true. This whole Davos thing, what an absolute joke. So, first of all, what the hell is Newsom even doing being there? He's the governor of a state, right? Secondly,
Yeah.
Scott Bessent, I think it was, just called him out, called him like a Barbie doll or something. And then they took away his speaking position. He was supposed to speak and they shut him down. I
Good.
loved
Yeah.
it. Oh, yeah. What an absolute joke. What an absolute joke he is.
What's his name said he's over there with his girlfriend Soros or whatever, his boyfriend Soros or
Alex
whatever.
Soros, exactly. His sugar daddy, exactly.
Sugar daddy, that's it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is just crazy. Well, we'll dive into some of that this morning. Let's see who. Oh wait, let me see this chat over here. There we go. All right, let me say some good mornings here. Rick Senior is here. Good morning, Rick. Kings Girl 1974, Bat and Ballin said, "Good morning, Patriots. Love the intro music." Yes, Alex does a phenomenal job with it. PJ Party Peggy is here. She said 10K in 10 minutes. I don't know. We're going to make it today. We're at 3 minutes and we're only at 2,000. Oh my gosh. Towie Bixby is here. John Langloy. Good morning, everyone. Let's see here. Oh, okay. There we go with the chat again. If I miss you, my apologies. The chat is just.
This is not a scam. Today is the last.
What was that?
Nothing.
No, it's not a scam. We're not a scam. Mary Louise Brown is here. Barb7599. Wendy. Christy B78 from Hayesville, Kansas. Good morning, all. Wildlife fan. Good morning, Wildlife. Lisa Maria. There she is. Lisa's been sending some good videos over on TikTok to us lately, hasn't she? She's been on top of it. Blue Flames 41 is here. Martini time. Holy smokes. Hits is here. Good morning, Hitesh. He said, "Hi, Sam, Alex, and Dave. A very happy and blessed Thursday to you all." Same to you, my brother. Same to you. Nutty81 said, "Today is the day. Patriots win. Keep your heads on a swivel." Boy, isn't that the truth. Isn't that the truth? Pure blood, Holly Johns. She said, Ken Bessent said about Newsom, a sparkly Ken doll. That's exactly right. Thank you for that, right, Holly. I Speak 1717 said he needed his knee pads. Isn't that the truth? Gosh. AJMCSJ is here. Doug Grice 59. Beaver from Colorado Springs, waiting for the snow. Cindy Hayden 59. Sue B. Holy smokes, everybody's piling in. Good morning, everyone. Glad you could all make it. Oh, sassy Minnesota. Sassy Southwest Minnesota girl / sassy girl. Sassy Minnesota girl is here.
From now on, she's Sassy Von Fancy Pants.
Sassy Von Sassy Pants. There we go. I like that.
And that's 5 times fast.
Gavin Newsom's trying to find Kamala because she won't give the knee pads back.
Exactly. Exactly. Squiggly 77. Kim 55 is here. Vicky Veronic. Lace and Steel. Jan Lovin being grandma. Holy smokes. Good. Kathleen Garcia is here. Good morning, Kathleen.
And Alex, new record.
We gonna go there.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm excited about it.
Exactly. Let's see. We have Richard Pacente over here on YouTube. David Morales said, "Slick intro for the city slicker." There we go. I like that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Ooh, that's even better.
So check this out, you guys. There's somebody on YouTube using my profile saying good morning. Or was that you doing it, Alex?
I did it through Restream. I said good morning.
Oh, I'm going, oh my gosh, there's a fake account following us on YouTube. Kathleen Paschke's here on Facebook. Robert McCarskey. Good morning, all. Good morning. Holy smokes, look at this. This chat is just on fire. Wow. Benji 1959. Good morning, Big Ben. Glad you could make it, brother. All right, so let's see here. We have got a lot to discuss today.
Whew.
There is so much happening.
Whew.
I mean, we've now taken over Greenland, and it was zero cost to us, apparently, it looks like. Thank you, Mary Lee Brown. Way to start off the show. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I got to be quicker on the mute button.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, well, let's get to some indices, Alex. What do you think?
Oh man, yeah. Let's go through some numbers. We'll start out with the indices. Not on this page for you guys to view, but S&P 500 up 48 points to 6,924. Dow is up 428 points. We're 500 away from 50,000, hitting all-time highs. 49,505 for the Dow 30. NASDAQ up 236 at 23,460. Huge. Crude oil currently down $1.20 a barrel, back underneath the 60 mark at 59.44. Looking at the numbers we were referring to, gold all-time high, $4,884. And as we're sitting here, silver just broke $96 an ounce.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Crypto, not so wow. Everything down. I mean, look at these down. Bitcoin currently down 0.2% at 89,478. Ethereum down 0.1% to 2,969. Tether, we're not worried about Tether. XRP down 0.2%, back underneath the $2 mark at $1.92. Looking at Cardano, up 0.1% at 36 cents. Cardano usually does it first. Watching the indices, you'll see what Cardano does, and then maybe the rest turn and follow. XLM Stellar Lumens up 3% at 21 cents. Not financial advice, ladies and gentlemen, just saying, buy the dip.
Exactly. Great, Alex. Thank you. Cynthia Hanner over on TikTok said, what if this storm warning is to try and get America to be more prepared for other things coming? You know, you're not the only one who thinks that, Cynthia. I was thinking about that this morning. There's a lot of people, they're calling it Snowmageddon. They're calling it all these different things.
Snowpocalypse.
What's that?
Snowpocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. But it really kind of fits. What if this whole warning to get people home, get them prepared, get them set up so that what if something significant was to happen? Now, I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just merely.
It's rolling in on Friday.
Well, it's apparently supposed to start today, right? Because I think at least I don't know. It's through Sunday, which would mean over the weekend, which would mean everybody's at home. I don't know.
It's a big storm from the United States, but did you see what happened in Russia with all that storm? That is a storm.
I didn't see
what happened. Drifting over 20-story buildings.
Oh yeah, I did see some of that. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I mean, it's always best to keep your head on a swivel. That's not to make anybody scared or what have you, but I think anyway. Magic's here. Laura McCrae's here. Coffee all day is here. Red Rosie. Good morning, all. Hey, Free to Be Me is here. Good morning, Free. Tim Shaw 707 said, I was a crazy pepper for years. Now I'm the place everyone wants to come in an emergency. Exactly. Wendy's at the snowpocalypse. Yeah, I know.
Kim Cotton, I'm going to look real nice right now. I know we don't typically do this, Sam.
Yeah.
But Delta for today, stay home.
Where does it say that?
I'm looking real quick. That's what Kim put in. I'm looking through them. There's quite a few for today. One says Castle Clean. What? That just gave me chills. Drones over U.S. SEC test. Eyes on chatter just spiked. Site being attacked, trust, uh, pray, notice the similarity, pray and pray. I don't see, thank
Oh,
you
there
for,
it is. Stay at home. 582.
yep, the very last one.
Wow. Wow. Stay at home. Interesting.
I forgot that I was sharing my screen. Yeah, look, guys.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, we'll
Incredible.
go back over
Incredible.
to
Who was it that pointed that out, Alex?
Kim Cotton.
Oh, thanks, Kim. Thank you. Let's see. Charlie's here. Hey, Charlie. Brian said Saturday night until Monday here in Pennsylvania. Okay, so maybe it is another day or two. I thought, for some reason, thought it was
It's
today.
Friday at noon through Sunday for us. And I think the larger impact of the storm is going to be primarily across the southern portions. So if we go back and look at what happened when like Texas got hit with the freeze, right? Like that was catastrophic. So seriously, take it seriously, because they are calling for, negative temperatures, high winds, and a significant accumulation of ice along the lower portion of the storm. And ice is what takes out trees and power. And I mean, it's looking pretty significant if you look at the European model or look at the United States model. Either way, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's always best to be prepared. 100%. Hey, Melissa Flinter's here. Good morning, Melissa. Paco said global cooling. Isn't that the truth? Isn't
That's
that the
right.
truth? Holy smokes. Nurse said, what website is that? So the one that I use is called QAG, QAG.com, I think it is. Which one do you use, Alex?
It's Q Alerts plural dot app.
Okay.
And it's pretty simple because you just from the home page. I'm sorry, if you click on the posts, like it'll give you yesterday, today, tomorrow, and it's pretty quick and easy to just flip through and look. If you wanted to search a particular word, if we did go to, let's say tomorrow, you'll see in the URL bar up here it says January 23rd, so you can actually change that to January 25th, and it'll show you even others. So
Yep.
pretty handy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But
I Speak 1717 said ICE takes out illegals too. Oh, very good point. I Speak, very good point. Oh, I missed a Trump train? Holy smokes, I didn't catch that. Sorry, guys. Sometimes when Alex has his screen up, I don't see it.
it's all my
Even know who
fault.
sent it. No, it's my fault. I just didn't catch it. Christine Thomas is here. Hey, Christine. Mark Matson just showed up. Good morning, Mark. Yeah, so stay home on on today as a Delta. That's a big deal, at least as far as I'm concerned. All right, Dave, what do we have for farming and agriculture today?
Not bad across the board. Corn is up a penny. Soybeans up 1 to 3. Wheat is up 5 to 8. Cattle is up about 10%. Hogs about a little over 2% across the board. The USDA looks to cut red tape and speed up slow computers that frustrate farmers and IT guys across the board. So all that's going to help cleaning things up. This administration's planning to. So we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jeff, Mr. Jeff Papp is here. Hey, Jeff, haven't seen you in a while, brother. Glad you can make it. Big B is here. Good morning, Big B. Cinderella just followed us. Welcome, Cinderella. It's interesting. Charlie said it's -7 here. Feels like -28. Well, and then somebody's asking, what was the name of the website? The one that I use is QAGG.news, QAG.news. But Alex uses a Q Alerts, I think it is.
QAlerts.app, app.
Yeah, there you go. They're both really great. So hope that helps. All right, let's see here. Well, this is interesting. Doug Rice 59 said, so what do you think about ICE using ice bombs to distract the protesters? I personally love it. Now, I haven't heard anything about ice bombs. I don't know what that is.
So what the ice bombs are is you've got retired military and police and others. So they're putting out fake information about where the raids are actually happening. So they'll say it's on the west side of town, and the retired guys and other volunteers will go drive through and act to distract the protesters while the actual raids are happening. So a little bit of cat and mouse going on.
Interesting. What were you saying, Dave? Oh. Having trouble there, Dave?
Yeah, just trying to get organized over here.
Oh, okay.
What were you guys on that right there? What'd you say?
Ice bombs. The retired police and vets pretending to be ICE on the west side of town, while the actual ICE is on the east side of town.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah,
Whatever it takes.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. All right. So, hey, Paul Rick's over here on YouTube. Hey, Paul, glad you could make it. IW Rainey 3 became the number 156 fan in the fan club. Welcome. I'm glad you made it. We've seen you before. I'm glad you're here today. Deb S said, I love the ice bombs. Well, I think we all do. All right. Well, let's move into some stories here. First up, the State Department has slashed over $1.8 billion during Trump's first year. Now, we're looking at exposure of government waste, exposure of government fraud, and I don't know how this is going to play out, but my guess would be when they get up to the $500 billion, $1 trillion mark in fraud, is that going to be the tipping point to get rid of federal income tax? Well, I'm not sure, but it sure seems to make sense to me. Alex, what do you think?
Well, when you've got gold very quickly creeping up to 5K per ounce, silver quickly approaching 100, economic indicators are saying that there's something happening in a big way. Going back to our conversation yesterday, what does it look like when the population is out from underneath that burden of a fiat currency? I think it all ties together. When you see the machine which is printing the money, and you see the cartel that's distributing the money and where it's going, and the interest is put on the backs of the rest of us, it becomes pretty clear that something is shifting in a very dramatic way with all of this coming out. And again, we've seen a thimbleful of what the iceberg looks like.
Yep, exactly. Martini time. Thank you for the hat and mustache. Dave, what do you think?
No, I agree wholeheartedly. This is just not even the tip of the iceberg, and there's two things that control people's emotions and thought process. It's messing with the kids and messing with their money.
Right.
And when they bring those two things to light of what the full amount this is, it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yep, exactly. Lace and Steel, thank you for the gift. You're so sweet. I Speak 1717 said IRS and CPS up next. Absolutely. I personally believe they've already been dealt with, but as far as the optical rollout, yeah, you could be right. 100%. Wendy said 5,000 coming soon. Yeah, for gold. I'm confident that we're going to get there. Hey, did you and John Glenn ever figure that out?
I'm good for double or nothing, but
is he hiding out? Is that what it is?
What do you mean?
I've asked
double or nothing or what?
On I lost the 5,000 at the end of the year, and so
it's got to make 10 now or what?
Hey, who signed
Exactly.
I'm waiting for John to message me an address so I will keep good on my end. I'm still waiting on the XRP stakes. Looks like I'm going to be waiting a while.
You might be for that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, a lot of people in chat are asking about James. So James is doing some business stuff. He's got his own things that he's taking care of right now. We'll see whether or not he can make it back or not. But for now, just keep him in your prayers, and we wish him nothing but the best. Robbie Miller, thank you for the gifts. For some reason, Benji 1959 is laughing at us in the chat. I don't know what we said, but apparently he must have thought it was funny. All right, let's move on. So we have, I'm having some issues with my screens again. Well, what the heck do you know? I wonder if it's the ice storms. President Trump came out at Davos. So there's been a lot going on at Davos, you guys, as you all know. Newsom being called out, President Trump talking about the Greenland deal, people reeing over all of the situations taking place there. Well, President Trump said Greenland is part of North America, and he said, quote, "That's our territory." Now, from what I understand, now I haven't had a definitive answer to this, but it looks like we are going to get portions of Greenland. We are going to protect Greenland. We have mineral rights to Greenland, and it's not going to cost us anything. Now, my guess is that's probably partly why President Trump has boosted the military budget next year by 50%, because we're going to be taking care of Greenland, probably Canada, maybe Mexico, certainly Venezuela. And what about Cuba? Now, for President Trump to come out and say that's our territory, I don't think he would say that unless something's already been done. Alex, what do you think?
Well, in the lead up to the announcement, Trump had escalated art of the deal. Let's escalate it as high as we can with 10%, even maybe 20% tariffs on Denmark and others, only to come back to what the plan looks like is enhanced U.S. NATO military presence. This could involve building additional bases, securing all the military access we want as U.S., and bolstering Arctic security against geopolitical rivals. Missile defense integration. Trump referenced incorporating his Golden Dome and rare earth minerals. The deal reportedly includes U.S. rights to extract and develop Greenland's vast deposits of rare earth elements critical for technology and defense, with NATO potentially involved. So again, he came in with this really grandiose, like, we're going to take it. And then if you're not going to cooperate, we're going to nail you with 25% tariffs, only to come back down to basically what we already had. Mineral rights, I don't know about that, because people don't understand. Greenland is like half the size of the United States. It is a massive freaking island, right? Almost its own little continent, I would almost venture to say. But it's tundra. It's frozen tundra. The cost to extract what's there, I don't think is going to be cheap. But the bigger move is keeping China out of there. We don't want China. This is all political positioning, right? As well as the Golden Dome. So part of the deal. He did it again.
Yeah, Dave.
Same concept for Venezuela, taking the oil away from China and Russia on that deal. Same concept. Yeah, we'll see what the details are on it. Mineral rights, there's trillions of minerals that's going to utilize how we're moving forward with AI and chips and stuff for the future. So it is art of the deal. Shoot for the moon and be happy where you land, and I guarantee he's going to get more out of it. Even if we got to pay the Greenlanders so much money and jobs and stuff like that, it's a plus plus. So we'll see how it shakes out here.
Exactly. And like Alex always like to say, President Trump doesn't pass gas unless he has a plan. And sure. I think that's what we're right in the middle of. Lace and Steel, Charlie, Mary Lee's Brown Martini Time, Melissa Flinner, thank you all for the gifts. How sweet. So we've talked a lot in the last, 6 months about nuclear energy, right? Well, apparently, President Trump at Davos yesterday said U.S. is going heavy into nuclear. And what happened? The nuclear stocks surged. What a surprise. Dave?
Well, it's been wind and solar have been pushed for the last administration, which we know percentage-wise, and the most clean, efficient energy in the world is nuclear across the board, and then followed by coal there soon after. But it's the way to go. We're going to need as much power as we can get. We know China's moving forward with many coal-burning plants across I think there's a total of 64 nuclear plants going to be built in the next, 10, 15 years, I think. So it's coming hard.
David Morrell said, bored at peace because we're bored, B-O-R-E-D, of wars. Skippy said something that's very interesting. He said, some inside baseball for you lads. Greenland is vital because the flight path of ballistic missiles is over the poles, and Greenland is necessary for launch detection. Very astute observation, Skippy. 100% I agree. All right, moving on.
Wait.
Oh, what?
I get to talk about nuclear?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
You're out.
Did somebody send a Trump train? Jeez.
No, I'm trying to read. Go ahead.
So going scorched earth at Davos, Trump, talked about China and the windmills. Like, there's no windmills in China. They produce them, they create them, but there's no windmills in China, right? But the future, I believe, is going to be in what they're calling SMRs, which is small modular reactors, and handing this over to companies, green lighting, removing the regulations to be able to get this done and get it done fast. I don't think people really understand how quickly this is going to turn around from a power perspective. And supply and demand. When there's a more electricity than we need, then the cost of that electricity is going to go completely through the floor. So I'm ready for that. These $600 power bills are getting old.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Benji 1959 said he did talk about the Golden Dome. That's true. He did. And then Mama Sass is here. Hey, Mama. Squiggly 77 said ice is over 1 mile thick. Well, let's not forget the amount of money. I think it's 8 new icebreakers that they are building and deploying. I'm guessing it has to do with shipping lanes, but we'll have to see.
I see an interesting thing on that. China's Russian icebreakers are all nuclear powered, which that surprised me. I assume the new the 6 that we're building, going to be also nuclear, but I don't know for sure.
Was it 6? I thought it was 8. Maybe it was 6.
Was it 6 or 8?
I don't remember, but yeah. Anyway, there's several coming. Squiggly 77 said Golden Dome from Guam to Greenland. Interesting. D said, I think keeping China, Russia away from Greenland was the purpose for his wanting it in the first place. I think there's a lot. I think that's part of it. Absolutely. Hey, Allie Mae's here. Good morning, Allie Mae. Benji 1959 said, I know we're dancing regardless, but let's hit 100,000 likes. Amen. Let's do it. It's really weird too, Alex. For some reason, I cannot see the likes on my screen today.
We're sitting at 59,000.
That's really weird that I can't. Usually I see it and I don't know.
You probably clicked a button.
Exactly. I know.
Pure Blood Holly John said, I started buying uranium stocks the day Trump was inaugurated. It was coming, which is interesting because other developments around this whole nuclear thing, uranium prices are starting to firm up as the supply with Namibia, Russia, Germany, the Chancellor of Germany reflecting on, what is the nuclear phase out. Like, Europe is lining up. I mean, in my eyes, anyway, they're lining up with China, and it's becoming very, very clear in multiple ways. And is that also part of like this disclosure and showing the world like who is who and where their loyalties lie? It's getting really interesting.
Big D said China is also building icebreakers. There we go. Exactly. Wendy said there's probably a pyramid under Greenland too. Exactly. Oh, and here we have PJ Party. Again, everybody in the chat, say, for context, this live is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And we're breaking out of the algorithm and it's working. But thank you, PJ, for reminding me about that. Mama Sass, FYP. FYF is the new one now, Mama Sass. I know. I don't know why they changed these things. Hey, Jess the Mess from Texas here. Good morning, Jess. Dana Mackey said Canada too, Alex. Yeah, well, it's all intertwined. All intertwined. All right, let's move on. So, talking about the Board of Peace and President Trump and Davos, the Pope has been invited to be part of the Board of Peace. But the Vatican is saying now that they're assessing the invitation. What is that all about? Holy smokes. I mean, shouldn't the Catholic Church be all over peace? What do you think, Dave?
Well, apparently they don't like peace. Maybe that's exposing them a little bit different way. I'm sure it has to do with Trump and inviting Putin and the Pope, but it's going to be interesting to see where the Board of Peace goes. Like you said, will it replace the UN and put a little pressure on them to step in the right direction instead of corruption?
Yeah, exactly, Alex.
I find it very interesting that this is even an issue. Like you said, why wouldn't the Orthodox Catholic want peace? Maybe because they're part of the war machine and funding, and I mean, know your history. Where's the money come from? The three pieces of the puzzle. So again, I think it has to do something with disclosure. Like our conversation yesterday with Sapioplex and AF and on really got me in this different lens of looking at everything. It's we'll see. We'll
They
see
have
what
a
happens.
tendency of doing that, don't they?
Well, I mean, thanks guys if you're watching, but
A different mindset. There's no doubt about that.
But it's not. I mean, it's well thought through, and I'm looking forward to bringing them on again because those guys they're really good guys and they think really well, in my opinion. So everybody in the chat's putting FYF and we're education and entertainment purposes only. That's so true. I know. Hey, JP Metal Slayer just made it. Morning, JP. Thank you everybody for having our backs in the chat. User said, didn't we get all the gold from the Vatican? Yes, I believe there was. Now, I can't confirm it, but there was something like 600 plane loads of gold, precious metals, artifacts, what have you, that were emptied out of the Vatican. Now, I can't prove it, but that's the scuttlebutt, and I tend to believe it's probably true. All right, well, it's sponsor time. So, Mike Lindell is running for governor. He is asking people to support him. What's the best way to do that? Buy some of his pillows, get some of his sheets, get some of his blankets. Go to mypillow.com, use the discount code Sam, or you can go to mystore.com. It's the same company, it's just they have more products there. Use the code Sam and you'll get a major discount on whatever you buy. Also, Neil Naturopathic. Go to neilnaturopathic.com if you want to acquire toxin-free, chemical-free hair care products. Use the code SAM20. And of course, Dr. Peter Glidden, he will be with us here tomorrow for our health and wellness podcast on Fridays. If you go to my website, samshalhoub.com, click on Dr. Glidden's button in the upper right-hand corner, use the code SAM, you'll get a 30% discount for membership to his website. And he does live question and answers on his site twice a week. So if there's something specific that you can't find on his website, which I find hard to believe, but if you do, he'll answer those questions for you on his live. And of course, Best Line Racing, the best engine and fuel additives on the market today. Go to samshalhoub.com, click on the Best Line Racing button, and use the code SAM. Alex, what about some meditation today?
Links in my bio on TikTok. If not, you can go to amazon.com, search for Alex Raymer, and you will find a beginner's guide to a life-changing meditation. It was my first attempt at a guide in teaching you how to meditate.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. Niz, I don't know how to pronounce this. I know you're part of our community. Niz More You, Nismoryu. Say good morning. Well, good morning to you as well, and I'm sure I butchered that name. Scott Regrosa said, "Are we going to get any of that money back?" Yes, I think that's partly why the Sovereign Wealth Fund was created. All of the fraud, all of the real the Trump train. There we go. That was great. I think that was Melissa that said that. Thank you, Melissa.
Let me pour my coffee first. Jeez.
Yeah, I know, right? I caught you right in the middle of it. Let's see, was it? I think it was. Yeah, it was Melissa. I think it's hard to see on this. Just cracks me up. Benji 1959 with the squirrels in the chat. I get it. Look at Kathleen Paschke even on Facebook. She's saying, for context only, this live is for entertainment and educational purposes only. You are on top of it, Kathleen. Thank you. Oh, it was Wildlife Fan that sent the Trump train. There we go. Oh my gosh. It just cracks me up. Sorry, everybody. I get derailed when I see the Trump train. All right, let's see here. Let's move on. So, Benny Johnson over on X. Barb7599 said, Sam scares me every time too, Alex. Well, if nothing else, it'll keep you guys awake, right?
Oh, gosh. Back off the mic a little bit.
Yeah, I know, right? What I got to do is hit the, like a lower volume or something. So, Benny Johnson over on X was talking about statements that President Trump made. And he said that he was quoting President Trump, that Trump announced prosecutions are coming soon over the stolen 2020 election. President Trump said people will soon be prosecuted for what they did. It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election. Now he's been rattling that saber for some time. And I personally believe that we are getting closer and closer. Now, I don't know that it's going to happen tomorrow or next week, but it's coming. And it's that white light at the end of the tunnel isn't the sun, it's the C train coming. And it's about election interference. Alex, what do you make of it?
Well, it just got me thinking, how long has it been that on this TikTok app, when I remember when we used to talk about the E word, you'd get this banner across the bottom about, here's where you go to get election information and da 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 da. Look, there is more than enough receipts for us to know the truth. Those of us that were screaming it from the rooftops, our tinfoil hats are starting to look like, high dollar fedoras. We're doing all right.
Yeah, exactly. Dave? Oh, you're muted, Dave.
It's coming. I had a conversation with Buddy today. So he goes, "Why don't they just release the Epstein stuff?" Or why don't they? I go, "There is 600,000 sealed indictments covering a lot of stuff." Well, the court said they should release it. I go, the courts can say all they want, but until it's time to release them, until they have their I's dotted and their T's crossed, it's not coming out.
Well,
the judges, your friend needs to understand, like, okay, release it all. And we get a couple of them because half the judges are in the pockets. And when we start getting into the story on Maine, like it's all tied together, man.
It is.
You can't just dump it all and go after everybody. It's got to be a clean sweep. It's got to be by the book. It's got to be by the law. And if we don't have our ducks in a row, we blow it. So I know people are tired of hearing it, but be patient.
Well, and I think that's part of this exposure operation, is exposing the judicial tyranny that's been taking place in America for decades. And as Alex said, you can't bring it to a court system. Well, let me back up here. So we have the court system, we have the judicial branch, we have the legislative branch, we have the executive branch. Well, if all of those are corrupt, what's the only other entity in America that can deal with those issues independently of that? That's the military. Now, if you just bring the military in and start, arresting people are going to flip out. We're going to have chaos in the streets. You have to do it in a way that gradually brings the temperature up so people don't riot in the streets. And I think that's what we're smack dab in the middle of. And that being said, the immigration enforcement operations are starting now in Maine. So we got Minnesota, we've got Maine, we have got Iowa, we've got a lot of talk about California, New York. What about Illinois? It's all coming. Dave, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. And on each step, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and expose what Doge brought in, what Minnesota is showing, Baltimore, Maine, everything like that. It's coming. It's exciting. I love the movement, what's going on, but they have to do it step by step and expose it little by little here.
Right. Alex?
Same as Dave. It's got to be a little bit at a time.
Right. JP Metalslayer said, "I knew the truth when our good man Mike Lindell exposed it. It's concrete, irrefutable evidence." Yes. And I think the reason that it was suppressed, JP, is it was too early on. People would not have accepted it. We would have had chaos. And I think that's partly why this has been drug out as long as it has. You have to bring the temperature up so people can assimilate it. Because fortunately or unfortunately, the majority of Americans don't really give a darn. And they're so toxic and so nutritionally deficient, they can't even think straight. So I think you're absolutely right. Mike was right from the beginning.
Well, and there's new polls coming out. Credit to Dave over at X22. I think it was Ross Musin asking Republicans asking Democrats the question about should you be a citizen to vote? Should this group be allowed to vote? Should you have ID and all these things? And that pendulum has swung so far over to, yes, you can't have people that aren't part of the system, haven't gone through the proper channels to be a part of our voting system, casting votes. You need to have an ID. You've got to be able to, and this is Democrat and Republican alike. And those numbers are in the 70s and 80 percentile. It's such a huge swing from where we were in 2020, where people are like, oh, that's bullshit. There's no election fraud. You guys are crazy, blah, 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 blah. So it's that the pot is starting to boil when it comes to election.
100%. Dave?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. I'm ready for it. Bring it to the surface.
Right. And so you have the election stuff happening. You have the fraud being exposed. You have immigration. I mean, the border is locked down now. You have so many different attack vectors taking place right now that I think the average American is overwhelmed. And I've had multiple conversations in the last week with multiple people, some being conservative, some being very liberal. And the liberals that I've spoken with, their major issue isn't with what President Trump is doing. It's about how he speaks to the public. And I found that very interesting because for whatever reason, these people are not, they can logically think that what President Trump is doing is best for America. Yet they have pushback because they don't like the way he's doing it. Now that, to me, this doesn't stack up. It doesn't make sense to me. But again, I think that temperature, that needle has to move to a certain point before people can accept it. Now, I don't know when that's going to happen or at what, kind of timeline. And I don't date fag at all. So I don't know.
And
I don't know.
we've talked about this before, Sam. Look where he's came in a year. Did we ever think we'd be this far?
Right.
Always hope for it, but it is insane on how they're just clicking one thing off at another. And if people don't think things are going on, they're not paying attention. Plain and simple.
And the black pillars that are pushing back, how many of them are paid by the opposite side? It may not be an organic thing. It could be something that's been, manipulated. Tally
Very much so.
said, I'll be so happy when it is fully announced it was stolen to shut up my liberal friends.
They won't stop. They won't stop.
But again, once it happens, everyone, I would caution everyone to not beat them over the head with it. Come alongside them, bring them up, help them understand what's going on. Because if somebody was sick, you wouldn't beat them into being healthy. You would come alongside them and build them up. And I think that's a very, very important point. Alex, were you going to say something?
Well, I'm just cracking up at some of the people in the comments, and this is a prime example. Yes, come alongside the people. There is going to be a percentage of the population, folks, that you can tell them that the sky is blue, and they will argue that it is, fuchsia, because that's just how bad it is. But us being the lighthouses and keeping the temperament, Sam, you do such an amazing job. I go back to when you were invited on to that show and it turned into this political whatever. And, it's stand in your square, hold your ground, but you don't have to escalate, elevate, agitate, be vulgar, rude, those things. And I think it shows character on both sides, whether you do or don't participate in that type of conversation. So the more information that is coming out, we're 365 days in. And I've said it since January 1st, like what we're going to see in the first 3 months, there is no possible way that any of us could have possibly sat down and scripted out what we're watching happen. And we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Who could have scripted out Biden supposedly being president for 4 years and an absolute shit show the entire time? None of us anticipated. Yeah, exactly. None of us anticipated. At least I didn't.
And having a fake stage made up across from the White House to go to because it was easier to get more people in and to help people separate. It's just crazy.
Remember when they had him in that little desk? Oh my God, that was classic.
That's where he got his arm.
But
Yeah.
the imagery, guys, it really was disturbing and scary for me to watch his national address with the red lights behind him and the podium. Like it just, man, that was some spooky stuff. So going back to our conversation yesterday, I'm like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, you can relate that a little bit, couldn't
you? Okay. All right.
Exactly.
Next.
Exactly. Hey, Crystal Zeski just said, this is completely off topic, but she said, puppies are being born right now if anyone is interested. So if anybody wants a puppy, reach out to Crystal Zeski over on TikTok. She might be able to help you out there.
Well, Crystal, don't give a puppy to Romeo because he doesn't look like he'd be a good host. Anyway, Go
ahead.
So we all were not surprised when the Clintons didn't show up for their depositions, right? Well, apparently now the House Oversight is holding the Clintons in contempt of Congress over the Epstein probe. Now, this is a perfect example of things not happening right away, yet they are building momentum. And I think this is a perfect example. I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to happen a year from now. I personally think it's already happened. We just haven't seen the optical rollout of it. But I find this interesting that they are now in contempt of Congress. I'd love to see the sergeant at arms just go out there and put the silver bracelets on them. But I don't know. What do you think, Dave?
Well, you always hope, right? And that has happened some stuff in the past when they were going after Trump and they said they're not going to go in there. And they were thrown in jail. But I doubt it's going to happen, but we'll see. It's a back burner thing. We'll see how that plays out. Obviously, it's being highlighted for a reason and then brought in. And why it was delayed from end of December to January, timing wise, it seems more right on where we needed to move that. So we'll see. I'm excited. Let's see. At least we're heading in the right direction. Let's see if it happens.
Exactly. So something must have happened in the chat because everybody's complimenting Lisa Maria for something.
Oh, I kicked him before Lisa could. It's okay.
What was it? Was it a troll?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are on the FYF and they are thick today. As far as the Clintons go, I mean, it makes sense that I would much rather face $100,000 fine and up to a year in jail than the truth about why somebody was where they were when they were doing what they were doing, or having to repeatedly state, I plead the fifth. I can't answer that question. Like, this is the lesser of two evils. Will we see it escalate? I really hope so. Like I said, I will lose my TikTok account if they put the cuffs on Obama, because I will be streaking down the front of my house live.
Exactly.
I mean, it's coming, folks. There's no avoiding it. And again, going back to yesterday's conversation, AF said, well, what if she's not the villain that you like? Damn it, dude. Why? Like, I want her to be the villain. Damn it.
Right.
That's the mindset most people fall into. But if the Patriots are in control, it would make sense to me that they would have them doing these things. So there's a friend of mine, a very close personal friend of mine, who we talk on a regular basis, and he gets so upset, and he gets so enraged over what the Democrats are doing, and he's conservative, and he's a very well-known entertainment person. And I keep telling him, why do you think for decades they never made these mistakes before? For decades, and then all of a sudden, in the last few years, they've lost their mind and they don't know how to manipulate the public anymore. There's a reason for it, right? And he still has not been able to get over that hump, because obviously if people are not familiar with Q and what's been going on there, they're not going to have any clue. And I think that's a perfect example of why we have to take as long as we are, because people just aren't informed.
Well, and it's even friends that are on our side that get so worked up. Oh, I can't believe that they haven't or he did and I'm like, why hasn't this happened? Like, what are you talking about? Like, let's sit down and let's go through all the boxes that have been checked. And you're freaking concerned about one box when there's 500 other boxes that have been checked in massive ways. Like, get over yourself. Let's look at the whole picture, not just one little piece, folks.
Right.
Hey, Alex, do you have that piece of gold again? Can I see that? $4,900.
Wow. Wow. I guess Alex is buying dinner tonight.
And silver's at 96.36.
Nice. Kelly Thurman, too, said, why are liberals so angry all the time? Must be miserable living life like that. Well, I think a perfect example of why they're that way is that it's much easier to fool someone than to convince them that they have been fooled. And I think that's where a good portion, even if it's only 20% of the population, that's still 60 million people that are pushing back against it. And I don't think it's quite that high. I think it's probably 80% in favor of President Trump and the team. But that's still 60 million. If it's only 20%, that's a big number.
Hey, Dave, hold up your coin. 96.41.
Ooh, wow. Incredible.
It's going.
Yeah, exactly. Pureblood Holly John said Janine Pirro could be a decider. She'll take care of business. Well, and somebody else in the chat said, well, what's going on with Bondi? Well, I don't know what the whole deal is, but I do know that if Pam Bondi is replaced, there's a reason she was there to begin with. I don't know what that is, but I have confidence in the plan. And when you've seen as much as we have over just in the last 5 years, you have to know there's a plan in place. If you can separate yourself from the emotion and look at it logically, there is much more of a plan than people realize. And if
Well,
go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say, look at Matt Gaetz. He was brought out. I don't think he's fully filled what he's doing as a lawyer, but let's see. I mean, that wasn't a mistake why he was brought out of the House to do what he's doing now. So
right, exactly. Franny Dragonfly, thank you for the heartbeat. And Lason Steele, Charlie, wildlife fan, Mary Louise Brown, Martini Time, Wendy J. Thank you all for the gifts. It's so sweet. So sweet. All right, let's see. So now President Putin is saying that Russia is ready to contribute $1 billion to President Trump's board of peace. NATO, UN, what other nefarious? Oh, and I'll be talking about this tomorrow on the dispatch, but we are officially out of the WHO now, the World Health Organization. They're a memory. Thank God. So you have Putin coming out and defending President Trump taking Greenland. I mean, come on. How much more obvious does it have to be? What if POTUS, Putin, Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, and Saudi Arabia are working together behind the scenes? Well, it sure seems very obvious to me. Alex, what do you think?
Well, the U.S. is not withdrawn from the UN entirely. However, on January 7th, 2026, Trump signed a presidential memorandum directing the withdrawal from 31 specific UN entities. Like that's one piece. You add in pulling us out of the World Health Organization. I mean, the guy is going through and he's looking at these agreements, these organizations, who's paying what. And in most cases, for many, many, many years, we have been the one paying the bill, right? We are the one paying the bill. We're the one giving them aid, or we're the one contributing the max amount, those things. And he's like, enough. When he says America first, he means America first. And I don't think we've seen the end of UN, NATO, World Economic Forum, World Health Organization. Like when he says America first, he means it. And he's going to continue to do just that.
Right. Mama Sass said Trump had 4 years to evaluate and plan this term. 100%. I agree. Doug Rice 59 said, I've been saying for months that Bondi's no good. Well, again, if she's there for a reason. Rosen Leaves said, but if you think about how slow things move, like they're not shutting down things quick for a reason. 100% I agree. And none of us know what's actually going on behind the scenes. But the reality is there's a lot happening. Dave, any comments on that?
No, it's interesting. It's interesting they're pushing that narrative on the Board of Peace, and we'll see how that plays out again. We'll see what happens to the UN. We're bringing that to the light of day, and we'll see how that plays out for sure.
Right.
Board of Peace. What happens when all the boogeymen are sitting on the Board of Peace?
Exactly. Earl Shannon just popped in. He said, "Good morning to the three amigos from tropical Minnesota, -13 right now." Oh, David Rawls said, Janine Pirro for Pam Bondi's role has been talked about. What do we think about it? Well, I think we just discussed it. I don't know if Bondi's going to get pulled, but I do know that the reason she's there for a reason. I don't know what that is. I don't know all the ins and outs about it, but President Trump, as many in the chat have said, he had his first term to plan all this out, to ferret out who was good and who was bad. And
she's on the ground in Minnesota right now, hanging out those stuff, going after the governor and the mayor and all that. So
right. And then Rosenleaf said, and then Zelensky follows up with war bait and money request right after the peace agreement. Exactly.
Rosenleaf said, only the left gets mad about peace.
Exactly. Mama Sass said, I think they're making sure when they start prosecuting that it's ironclad 100%, and it's by the book. Tally Bixby said, Sam, is there any truth to Erica Kirk being a CIA op who ordered the hit on Charlie? Okay, that's a whole nother rabbit hole we're not going to go completely into here, but tell me when anybody else when a pew-pew was used on someone and the reaction of that person's body doesn't line up with a rifle of that caliber hitting them. There's a lot of anomalies there. I don't know what to make of Erica Kirk. I don't know what to make of TPUSA, but the net effect was positive. God, if it was him and if he was killed, then, God bless him and his family. But the net effect was positive for America. Not him losing his life, apparently, but how many people were brought into the fold to look at life differently because of that event. And that's more of what I pay attention to than I do the actual issue itself. All right, so let's see. I guess that's it for today, everybody. Let's see, where are we at? I cannot see
122,000, but we
holy smokes, 120.
But we owe him 100,000 from yesterday anyway. So
yeah, I know, but I don't know why I am not able to see. Let me see. I'm gonna click some buttons. So if anything happens, you guys we'll be right back.
We'll come back.
That is so weird. I don't know why I can't see that. Oh well. Anyway, we're dancing anyway. So everybody over on YouTube and Facebook, we're going to be signing off there now. We can't dance on those platforms. They get their panties in a bunch when we do. So we're going to sign off here, sign off there now. We'll see you all tomorrow, Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Don't forget, health and wellness. Dr. Glidden will be here.